Hey my friends, welcome back to a new video. I have a special message for anyone who came across this. I want to remind you to expect miracles to occur. There's a new opportunity on its way to you that will completely upgrade your life. So stay grateful, my friend. Today's message is about steps that can help us to have bigger trust into what we are intending to create in our lives, how to have more faith for our tomorrow, how to build greater trust that actually everything is already working in our favor, because it's all about the mental attitude, right? The mental shift and the shift in our heart state. So we're constantly kind of upgrading our state of being, so we develop a greater sense of trust and ability to surrender to this moment and finding joy in the flow that is allowing us to move through life. So my friends, expect miracles to occur. This is the most important thing that we constantly need to keep reminding ourselves, that miracles can occur. And whatever the word miracle represents to you, you may just not believe into it, and you may rather say something good will find me today. Something unexpectedly good will find me today. It's a simple shift in our mindset that opens up ourselves to something unexpectedly good, because we all know that we are most of the time running a certain program. So if we don't open ourselves for something new, we'll be predicting every single day for what may happen based by our memories from the past, right? But as soon as we start living a bit more intentionally, which means a bit more consciously of what we are choosing to do with this present moment, how we choose to move, right? Even if you do same things as you did yesterday, can you put a bit of new energy, a bit of refreshment into it? Like when you're cooking, cook with intention, like I'm cooking this with love. Whoever will be eating this meal will be blessed with health. When you go to sleep, you can breathe in an intention that life is guiding you towards where you need to be, towards where you experience the most blessings, towards where you experience the most abundance. Right? Miracles are constantly present around us. This is what life is all about, to be free, to set our soul free, right? And ego wants just the opposite. Ego wants to control everything. So we are constantly choosing, do we want to set ourselves free or do we want to try to control stuff? And we need to decide, at each moment we need to decide, will we control stuff and try to force things to happen, or will actually do something that brings us a generous sense of freedom, of joy, of opportunity to be ourselves? And we're always choosing, so choose wisely here, my friend. So the first reminder I want to give you here today is to remind yourself that problems find you, because deep inside there's a wiser you who will find a solution, and once you do, you will realize how incredibly powerful and talented you are. And that is such a profound realization, and I will explain you why. So when I've opened my company back in 2018, I've started struggling with the lack of clients. I had not many clients, so I had no idea how I will get the money to pay bills, and that was a huge problem for me. But because of that problem, I've started researching the ways and possibilities how to make money with my art, how to sell my art. And it helped me to open myself for doing some research, like what other artists are doing now in these modern times when we have internet. We can sell it in so many different ways. We just need to open ourselves for possibilities. So I've started making prints and so many different options, like prints on phone cases, prints on canvas, prints on pillars, covers for the pillars, and so on. I've started helping people in a way like how to start painting, what kind of materials to use. I've started doing graphic designing, and I was doing so many different things, but it helped me to notice that I am able to build my own business around what I love to do. Eventually, life guided me towards something that is the most meaningful and purposeful for me. But at the beginning, we need to improvise, right? We need to try all possible different things. And that taught me how incredibly powerful I am as the creator, as the designer of my own destiny. How incredible it is that I can open myself to create my own destiny, right? I could stay at my last job and I could work 9 to 5 or whatever, and I could stay unhappy there. But I've chosen to follow my inner calling, and I faced with my problems, and I've discovered so much more of myself. And whatever problems you have right now, at some point you will find a solution, because there is no other way. Like, we can quit and give up, or eventually we will find a solution. Doesn't matter how long it takes. It truly doesn't matter. You will find a way. But once you will find a way, something incredible will awaken within you. And I already celebrate you for that, for the bravery that you are choosing to keep up with researching and accepting yourself, because it's not an easy thing, especially when there are profound problems that we can't completely recognize what would be the most beneficial solution. It's usually really, really hard in relationships or in finances especially. We don't know what to do. We're losing our minds and we can't figure things out. And sometimes the best thing we can do truly is just to let go of it and stop trying to figure it out. Because usually realizations hit us once we stop trying to figure it out. So we'll talk more about this. The second reminder is to let go and trust. This is something that I've just mentioned. We need to learn to let it go. So firstly, we need to understand that trust is a muscle we build every time we surrender our worries. And letting go can be achieved by learning to enjoy in what we already have. This is so deep. And firstly, as I mentioned, trust is a muscle. So we need to learn to develop and evolve this muscle of trust. So it means that we basically just believe and know. Knowing is deeper than just believing. We know that things will work out. And to know that things will work out, we need to have a certain sense of confidence, right? And confidence, again, is a choice. Like, you can be constantly all negative about yourself, or you can start saying to yourself that it will work out and you will find a way, and eventually you will find a way. So every time you surrender your worries, you get a bit upper on that level of trust. So how to surrender your worries? Well, surrendering of your worries can be done by finding something that gives you a certain sense of joy, of happiness, of something that helps you to lose yourself in this moment. It can be a meditation. It can be doing something you like painting or dancing or whatever provides you that generous sense of joy. And do more of that. Focus more on that, because when we're worrying about something, it is so draining, right? It is so exhausting. So often when people fall into a certain state of worry, they completely forget about themselves. They've completely stopped doing all the things that provide them joy. But the truth is, if in those moments we actually do something that gives us a sense of joy, in a joyful sensation, we are the most connected with the source. And usually when we are facing with a certain problem and we do something we are really joyful about, we'll forget about the problem and suddenly an idea for a solution may hit us. So we need to remind ourselves that even if we're facing with something heavy, it's not the end of the world. It's not the end of our world. It's actually just the ending of a certain chapter that needs to end, right? And at the same time, already a new chapter is awakening. And you just need to learn to stop taking all those things so seriously. Maybe those are serious problems, but nothing in this reality is so real. It's more like a game, and we need to learn to play the game, right? And I've noticed less importance I place on the things, less I'm worried about how things will go. And it helped me to develop a greater sense of trust that everything will work out, and so far everything is going so great. So we need to learn to be more playful with this reality, because it's just a game where we are learning to work with energies, where we are learning to use our minds, where we are learning to be creative, and we are learning to deal with emotional sensations that often feel so real. And we don't like to feel what's unpleasant, and we want to do more of what feels pleasant. But life is all about balance. It needs to stay in that equilibrium. It needs to stay in that balanced state. So if you're avoiding the unpleasant, the pleasant will also run away from you. And as you start to accept the unpleasant, you will also find more pleasant sensations in your life, more pleasant experiences in your life. And sometimes when it feels like your whole life is falling apart, all you need to do is to take a whole day just for yourself and do something to nurture your spirit. Let's say today I will dedicate a whole day just to myself. I will take myself somewhere I love to go. I will go on massage. I will meditate all day long. I will go and talk with that person. I will do whatever. Just do something for yourself, something you usually don't do, or something you do that helps you to recharge yourself and get a new perspective in life. It is so important, and it will help you to let go of what is not allowing you to be joyful, to be happy, to be at peace with yourself. The third reminder is a wisdom from Leo Tolstoy. He said that two most powerful warriors are patience and time. We need to understand that everything takes time. And if we learn and teach ourselves to be patient, eventually we'll get to where we want to be without doing some stupid things. Because sometimes we do stupid things just because we are impatient, right? So work on being patient. When you're impatient, actually accept that part of you and be gentle towards yourself while things are slowly unfolding. That's the best advice. Just accept that part of you, because that may be your weakness. It was my weakness, and I know how hard it is sometimes to deal with impatience. But the best thing that helped me was to accept it and be gentle with myself, knowing that there's a divine timing for everything, and when things will find me, they will find me at the best possible time, and I can't predict when it is, because I don't know what's best for me. right? So know that the most powerful warriors are patience and time. And the right time comes to all, right? And the fourth reminder is another wisdom advice from Coco Chanel. She was a fashion designer. She said really wise words. She said, don't spend time beating on a wall hoping it will transform into door. And what does it mean? Well, it means that when something doesn't go your way, stop trying to force it to change. Sometimes we're climbing the wrong mountain. Sometimes we're beating onto the wall that will never transform into doors. It's a sign that it's time for you to change your direction. It's time for you to find a new perspective. Sometimes when nothing works, the best thing you can do is to stop doing anything and take yourself on a date. Take yourself somewhere where you haven't been for a long time. You need some refreshment in your life. And when those things are happening, just do something for yourself. And you will notice, well, for the whole time, I was truly trying so hard to change what I didn't like. But then I've noticed that all I needed is clarity, right? And clarity needs time to occur. Clarity is just something that needs time. We can't force it. You can't force something to change. It just needs time. Like when when you put dirt into water, you shake it. You can't force that water to purify itself, but you place it onto the table and it will purify itself. All it needs is time, and that's how our minds work. That's something I often mention to you, but it's so real. Go into nature and meditate there for 2 hours. You will notice after 2 hours your mind will be clear, and you will notice, oh, what I was doing back then. If you do it for a longer time or you just do something new, you will notice, well, I truly needed some refreshment. So remind yourself to stop forcing things to happen or stop beating on a wall hoping that it will change. Stop hoping that things will change without you changing anything. This is a wisdom advice. And the last thing I want to give you here, something that will help you to build your faith for tomorrow, because so much good is coming towards you, is that you just need to increase your faith in yourself. It all comes to our self-image, to our mental attitude we have towards ourselves, right? What's the identity when you look in the mirror? What do you see? How you see yourself? Because you see yourself through the lens of your beliefs about yourself, and beliefs create perception. So your perception is built out of beliefs you've developed from what you've heard about yourself, right? So you don't truly see yourself when you look into the mirror. What you see is opinions of others. And that's something we truly need to be careful with, because if we only see ourselves the way other people told us who we are, we may not fully understand who we truly are. And if we don't know who we are, it will be hard for us to believe into ourselves, because we don't even know into whom or what we are believing to. We feel that something is off and we don't know what is off. So what truly is off is that you maybe don't know who you truly are. So to know yourself right at this moment, to know yourself means that you ask yourself, who would you be without all those emotions that you feel right now? Who would you be without all those thoughts that you think about yourself? Who would you be without all those beliefs? Like, what would stay if I would take everything from you? All the material things, everything you're valuing, what would left? What would left there? And once you can answer that, you will start to know more of who you truly are. You know what would that left? Your personal experiences that were experienced by you, memorized by you, acknowledged by you. So at some point we start to recognize from what aspect we are sensing what we are experiencing. What's that point of us from which we observe what is happening? And usually we start to know that part of us when we start doing our inner work, when we start meditating and we meet ourselves in quietness, and we notice how magnificent we are when we stop pretending to be somebody we are not, right? And the most magnetic people are those who are being themselves, right? Those are the most magnetic people. And to be yourself means that you recognize all the stories you're telling to yourself that are not yours, and you ditch them, you let go of them, and you start being more of yourself each moment. That will make you magnetic. And when you become more magnetic, you become magnet for miracles, right? That's why I said at the beginning that you need to expect miracles to occur. And everything becomes a miracle when you start seeing yourself as a miracle. So my friends, I hope you found something valuable today. I'm sending you all lots of love, blessings, and power. Stay magnificent, stay wonderful. I hope you've enjoyed in today's painting. If you would like to get a piece of it, you can find our Etsy shop, I Draw My Passion. The link is in the description below. We're just running a super sale on all of my art. Go there and check it out. Until next time, one love.